Hello, so today we have Chef Jody Denton with the Frito-Lay Flavor Kitchen, and it is tailgating season coming up, and we'd love to hear about the greatest tips that you need to know in order to have a successful tailgating season.
Well, definitely a pleasure to answer that question. It all starts with fun. Tailgating is a party. You want to make sure and include everybody in the pre-planning, the preparation, and then on game day, get everybody included, get them engaged. Everybody will have a lot more fun. Remember, you are celebrating. You're celebrating your team. And on tailgating day, T in team stands for travel ready. Make sure you think ahead, put everything in big coolers, freeze some bottles of water the night before and use that as ice so you don't have to carry so much ice, and then that water will thaw during the day and you'll have water to drink all day long. And then pack all your food in disposable containers, resealable plastic bags, deli cups, so that you won't have to deal with a big mess later on. E is for easy eating. Make sure that you plan a menu that's not overly complicated and get everything done ahead of time you possibly can, so that while you're at the game, all you've got to do is throw it on the grill and you're done. You don't want to get bogged down behind the grill with everybody else enjoying the party and you're just stuck prepping and grilling. A, all weather. Make sure that you are prepared. Look at the forecast. Make sure you know if there's any rain in the forecast. And if there is, get yourself prepared with some pop-up canopies and umbrellas. 10 minutes of rain can really ruin the day if you're not prepared, and it won't mean anything if you are. M, make a checklist. Get everything on a checklist, get organized. We've actually put together a checklist for you that's got everything that you could possibly imagine for a tailgate and then some. The more organized you are ahead of time, the less stressed out you're going to be on game day. You're going to have a lot more fun. And I always like to be party ready at all times. And for me, that means keeping a bag of Tostitos, tortilla chips in the cabinet at all times with my favorite salsa. And then on game day, I just like to customize it. I'll take an already great salsa like the Tostitos restaurant style, and I'll add some fresh ingredients in there like tomatoes, onions, little jalapeno, cilantro, lime juice, maybe some grilled pineapple, maybe a little avocado, maybe some mango, whatever you like. And then you'll have something that everyone will enjoy. You won't have spent too much time on it, won't cost you too much money. Everybody wins.
That's great. That's great. So you mentioned, being prepared for weather and rain. Here in Portland, it rains a lot. So do you have any tips on how to keep the food dry?
Oh yeah, I used to live in Oregon. I know all about it. Keeping everything in coolers to begin with, not pulling it out until you need it. Don't spread it all out over the table, especially if there's rain in the forecast. But if there is rain in the forecast, you really need to be prepared with some rain gear. Pop-up canopies, umbrellas, some rain slickers, even in the disposable kind. Just make sure that if it's looking like rain, that you're ready, because you can party through the rain like a rock star. But if you're not prepared, it's going to ruin your whole day.
Great. Makes sense. How about flipping burgers? I have such a hard time. They either get stuck or are way too late and they get burnt. Like, is there any sort of rule of thumbs, like to do it correctly and not mess it up?
Well, first tip is to make sure that your grill is clean and seasoned. And by clean, I mean after you grilled the last thing on there, you need to let that all burn off for 10 or 15 minutes, and then scrape your grill grates down with a good stiff wire brush. Get all of that carbon off of there. And then directly after that, wipe that grill down with an oily rag, vegetable oil on a rag, and then let that kind of sear on there. That'll protect your grill till the next time you use it. And then when you fire it up again, go ahead and give it that brush of oil on the grates right before you put your food on. And usually with burgers, the tendency is to try to flip them too soon. They're gonna want to stick if it hasn't had time to kind of really carbonize that meat on the bottom side. So let it go at least about 4 minutes on the first side. The second side is not that difficult. It usually releases a little bit better because the meat's had a chance to release a little bit of fat that lubricates that a little bit more. As far as not burning it, don't let it go 10 minutes. Just make sure that you let it go 4 or 5 minutes and then do the first flip. From there, it's easy.
Got it. That's great. Now, in terms of gas versus charcoal, is there one that's better? And now I see that there's these disposable grills. Can you really use those for tailgating? Do they work?
You can only really use the disposable grills if you have a small crew and you're only grilling something simple like hot dogs or hamburgers. If it's more elaborate, if there are more people, you might want to consider going up from there. As far as charcoal or gas, neither one you can really consider better. Some people might say that the charcoal and the wood imparts a better flavor, but certainly the gas is more controllable and easier to use for people that might not have tons of grilling experience. The other thing that you might want to consider is how many people you're grilling for and how many things you're planning on grilling. If you've got 4 or 5 people and you're only grilling a couple of things, you might be fine with one of these great little charcoal grills. And if it's going up from there, if you're grilling for 15 or 20 people and you're trying to grill corn and chicken and burgers, then you might need a bigger grill, and either you have one or somebody you know has one, but you got to think ahead, plan ahead, and bring that grill along with you.
Yeah, you mentioned, so if you do have a larger party and you need to bring a grill, is there any tips about bringing a grill so you don't make a mess of your car?
Well, I wouldn't put it in my car. I'd put it in the back of somebody else's pickup. That's the best way to avoid making a mess in your car.
No, that makes sense. Okay, great. Well, I really appreciate all these great tips. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us, recipes or anything we didn't cover?
Actually, I have a great recipe. One of the things I like to grill sausages. And I like to make sausages, but I like to grill sausages. You can buy fantastic sausages at most gourmet stores these days are making their own, and they have a wide range. You've got pork sausages and bratwurst and Italian sausages, and then they've got healthier sausages made from chicken and turkey. And sausages are easy because they're easy to transport. They're easy to grill. You can take the bratwurst and simmer it in a pot of beer on the stove until you're ready to grill, and then just put it on the grill for a little bit of color, or you can grill them from raw if you have a little more experience. But I'll take a little bit of mustard. We're gonna do a bratwurst recipe that's a little bit unusual. Most of the time you see that with sauerkraut and mustard. We're keeping the mustard because mustard is really good with sausage, but I'm gonna put the bratwurst in there, and I'm gonna top that with a little Tostitos salsa con queso. We're doing cheesy brats here. And a little salsa con queso. Then I'm gonna take some chunky salsa on top of that. And then just gonna sprinkle some fresh grated cheddar cheese and a little chopped onion on top of that. And that's a fantastic way to do your sausage, a little bit different. And then it definitely, this is the kind of food that guys love, and Ruffles makes flavors for guys, and they love those flavors. We've got smokehouse barbecue chips that I'm serving with this bratwurst, and I think everybody wins.
Wow, that sounds delicious. Well, thank you so much, Chef Jody. We really appreciate all these tips, and we look forward to using them when we tailgate next.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Thank you.
Take care.